Christmas didn't arrive with noise. It arrived quietly. No fanfare, no trumpet, no announcement that shook the world awake. It came in the ordinary rhythm of life, and almost no one noticed. For centuries, God's people had waited. 400 years of silence since the last prophet spoke. No voice from heaven, no new word. Just waiting, longing, questions left unanswered. And then when the silence had grown deepest, God didn't break it with thunder. He entered it. Luke tells the story in just 2 sentences. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born. She gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them. Luke 2, 6-7. That's it. No buildup, no spectacle, no reaction from the world. The Savior of the world arrives in a sentence. The most disruptive moment in history passes almost unnoticed. There was no room, not because the innkeeper was cruel, not because the people were hostile. They were simply busy. The census had filled the town. Rooms were full. Lives were full. People were thinking about travel, taxes, family, survival. They weren't evil. They were distracted. The world didn't reject God that night. It simply had no space. And sometimes indifference hurts more than opposition. Because opposition at least acknowledges you exist. Indifference just keeps moving. God could have come differently. He could have appeared in the temple, in power, in glory. He could have demanded attention, but he didn't. He chose vulnerability. A baby. A baby doesn't command a room. A baby waits. A baby hopes someone will notice, will care, will make space. Christmas is the night God chose not to force his way in. He waited to be invited. Think about that risk. A baby can be ignored, overlooked, forgotten. A baby can be harmed, left in the cold, passed by. A baby's life depends entirely on whether someone chooses to respond. This was not a safe entrance. This was not power on display. This was trust placed in human hands. The same hands that would one day nail him to a cross were the first to hold him. The silence of the room. In that stable, no speeches were given, no explanations offered, just breath, warm skin, a tiny heartbeat. The animals kept breathing, the night kept moving, the world outside kept sleeping, and history changed quietly. We often expect God to speak loudly to interrupt our chaos, to demand our attention. But Christmas tells a different story. That love does not force, it waits. That truth does not shout, it whispers. That divine presence does not break down the door. It knocks softly and waits to be welcomed. If God chose silence over spectacle, smallness over strength, vulnerability over control, then maybe that's still how he comes. Not in the noise of our achievements, not in the rush of our schedules, but in the quiet, in the ordinary, in the overlooked corners of our lives. He still comes as one who can be missed, who can be ignored, who waits for us to make room. This Christmas, in the middle of all the noise, maybe the question isn't, how can I feel God more? Maybe it's, have I left any space for him to enter? If this reflection met you in the quiet tonight, thank you for listening. You're welcome to like, subscribe, and join us for more reflections here at Eternal Echoes. And in the comments, where in your life are you being invited to make room? Peace to you this Christmas.